Hey everybody, this is Payne here, and we're going to do an experiment today on whether or not bookshelves, if you line the walls of your house with bookshelves, whether that's going to help keep bullets in the instance of a home intruder invasion where you're going to have to fire at somebody, help keep the bullets inside your house instead of shooting your neighbors or your neighbor's dog, and also whether or not if your neighbor has an incident such as that, the books would help keep his bullets from flying into your apartment. So if you live in an apartment and you share a wall with somebody, or whether you're in kind of a cookie cutter house and the walls are pretty thin, this might matter to you. So what we've got here is we've got a cheap little Amazon bookshelf that costs like $20. And we lined the top with some older books that were we took from a library. They're going to go to pulp and get thrown away and basically turned and rebranded into a new paper. And so instead I grabbed a couple of the ones that they were tossing out, and we're going to do this experiment with them. The back of this bookshelf, it's a little bit more than cardboard, but it's not very much more. It's kind of that compressed wood type of stuff. So if you have like really nice bookshelf like mahogany or something like that, that's obviously going to do you a lot better than this. But we're going to focus on what the books are doing today. I created a little bit of space in between here and this splatter target so that we can kind of see if anything makes it through the books and at what point it does. We're going to start with a 22 LR out of my Ruger 1022, and we're going to kind of build up in caliber as we go and see what does and doesn't work. So let's get started. All right, we're going to start with 1022. We're at about 10 yards away, and we got our hearing protection on, so we are ready to rock and roll. Yeah, good. Shoot range is good. All right. Okay. So I hit dead center. Look at me. Right there on the spine of this old book. It did not come out the back side, which is awesome. So it's looking like Ruger 1022 is a valid home defense option. Let's see if I can get this book out. We packed them together pretty tightly. Yeah, it's a good little read. Oh, and there's our bullet. You want to get a zoom in on that? Very nice.
It's cool looking.
It's very cool looking. Still warm. So there we are. Nice little chunk of lead. So next we're going to go up to a 9mm H&K VP 9mm. We're loading the V Crown from Sig Sauer plus P ammunition. We're starting with a hollow point, and then we're going to jump to a full metal jacket just because hollow points are designed to expand and not penetrate as much. So if this goes well, then we'll jump it up to the 9mm full metal jacket. So because I'm just that good of a shot, I hit the same book twice. Now from the 22 to the 9mm, we can kind of see back here, it didn't come out the back, which is awesome, but it did pull back these little tiny cheapy nails and started to bend this back. So we're going to hammer that back in for the next test and try to aim a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right so we start hitting a new book. But so far so good. It's coming through. Let's see if we can't get this book out of there. There a little bit. There we go. Beat it from the front to the back. Back to the front.
We really get back up.
Yeah. See if we can get one book out there. There we go. Alright. And we're dealing with this book is getting torn up on the spine. That's okay. There it is. So you see there, that's where our bullet is. We went a little bit farther than the 22 did, but not by much. but did a heck of a lot more damage. That is hot. And what you got there is most of the expansion. There's little metal fragments all through the book where kind of the bullet opened up and expanded, and then that's what you're left with is just your base that kept on punching. So now you got your 22 and your 9mm, what's left of the 9mm. Cool. Alright, so now we're going to do our 9mm full metal jacket. And this is just your standard 9mm full metal jacket, nothing special about it. I'm going to go there and get on for safety reasons. And we're going to see if I can hit these books again. Alright, let's go see what I hit. Okay, so we hit right about here on a little bit far to the right. I guess I kind of pulled that shot. Over on the back, you can see where it just kind of punched out one of these nails, but still that hasn't come through. If we pull out this book, big old thick book, which is good. To which page should I go to find a bullet? There it is. So I did a little bit of tumbling there. Wow, that's hot. Alright, we're going to jump it up in caliber a little bit. We're actually going to jump it up on guns too. And this is the H&K USC, loaded in 45 ACP. New gun, very excited about it. It's got that 16-inch barrel, which everybody loves, and that fixed stock. No, work on the paperwork with the ATF and get that fixed so that we can have more of a UMP style. But you know, this is what it is. We're going to start with coming out of this just standard hollow point, no XP on it, or no, I'm sorry, no plus B on it. Hollow point from the AC ammo, and then we're going to jump to a Grizzly hollow point plus P ammo, and then we're going to go to the full metal jacket ammo. So we'll see how this goes. Get the hearing protection on for safety reasons. HK stuff. Safety. Ooh, yeah. All right, so totally realistic for what could happen if you're shooting into a bookshelf by accident or on purpose. Is your bullet can go a little low. I was trying to space it over to the side, and it can just straight up eat up your wood shelf there. And like it did. But the good news is, here on the back side, you have a little bit of a nick coming right here through the wood, but there's nothing on our splatter target that would indicate that anything came through. That looks mostly just like pressure from that nail right there, pushing that out. So the books are still bulletproof.
Do we want to try and find the bullet?
I don't think we're gonna find that bullet, but what we are gonna do is we're gonna flip this upside down so that we have a fresh bookshelf to work with. So, as it turns out, we actually can find this bullet. It dropped right out as we were pulling the books to swap the bookshelf upside down. And there it is. So, compare that to the other bullets. And we're finally seeing a very big bullet starting to get eaten up. I'm excited to see what happens when we get the plus P45, the Grizzlies on this. I think we're going to see something pretty interesting. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and fling a plus P Grizzly hollow point down this rifle. And just to put this in perspective, you know, your average hollow point is moving at something like 830, 850 FPS. Out of the longer barrel, it's going to be moving a little bit faster. But these Grizzly hollow points are moving at a whopping 1200 FPS. So they're actually supersonic. They got a lot more ass to them. I think if we're going to see something punch through these books, it's going to be this, at least so far. But anyways, get this hearing protection on, and we'll make this happen. Yeah. If I can even get the hearing here. Alrighty, we're all safe. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah. So you can see how much ass that bullet had behind it. If you come over here, you can kind of see back here. I mean, it pushed this entire flexi board back and out, but it didn't go through. It didn't go through. Still nothing on our splash guard back there. The bullet caught, or the book caught the bullet. Let's see what we got. Put that down. Let's see. Oh yeah. You can see the shockwave through the pages of the bullet expanding and delivering all of its energy. Oh, that's still hot. Wow. You can see, I mean, it's not an advertisement for Grizzly or anything, but you can see, I mean, it expanded right up to the base there and just, I mean, probably retained its weight pretty well. And, I mean, just absolutely demolished. That's the best penetration we've had. So I decided to go ahead and skip the 45 full jacket, just because I think it's going to see more of the same. And we decided to jump it up to the 556 FMJs and see a little bit more penetration, a little bit less bullet. We'll be able to get a little bit better. It's a brand new rifle, and we only kind of had a little bit zero. So I'm going to take a practice shot, and then I'm going to take an actual shot. That's why we're taking 2 shots. And if we see 2 balls in the books, I'm really bad shot. Well, it obviously hit. It actually knocked, I don't know if you can see it real clear from back there in the video, it knocked this book out and out the back. It's a little bit cracked up, but as we can see, that was my practice shot over here. There's no bullet holes coming through. And did we even hit this? Yeah, we hit this book. Wow. So that got caught right there at the edge. Right there at the very end, right before it comes out the back. The bullet got all tangled up in there. And, ooh, that's hot, hot, hot. Flick my fingers. Pull that out. Ooh, that's a lot. So, really good action there. You can see on the pages of the book where the bullet came in and that expansion of energy as the bullet got eaten up by the bullet. So, alright, so I honestly didn't think we were going to have to step it up this far. The books are doing a great job. The bookshelf is not doing that great of a job, but the books are doing a great job. So we decided to jump it up to a 308. This is my hunting rifle 308. This is going to be a 180 grain soft tip from Federal power shot. And it's going to be moving at a pretty high pace of about 2,500 feet per second. we've got this nice suppressor from Suppressor Central on it. And let's see if we can't make it happen. Well, that might work. All right, so I mean, we demolished this thing. We hit it. I don't even know where exactly we hit it. But I mean, we have screws popping out here on the sides. The shelves are all broken. Yeah, I think it just made the books jump and everything else, but nothing on the splatter target. Forget about that. That was my practice shot on the rifle. I didn't zero because I'm lazy. But this, nothing made it through. So here you hit one of these hardcover books. It does get embedded, and I think that does more for you than the regular paper does. Let's see if I can get that. Ah, that's hot. Okay, so that's just the lid. So we lost the copper jacket pretty much entirely, but that's the lead ball, or the lead core of it. Some book tape on it. So that's pretty cool. All right, we're gonna see if we can't do a little bit of minor repairs and take one last shot on this thing and see if we can't get an idea of what will actually penetrate through these books. Well, so I really didn't think we were gonna get this far, to be honest with you. But I wanted us to get through these books and know what will actually go through a bookshelf. And as it turns out, everything up to like 308, like heavy grain soft points, are getting stopped in a tinkly ass, Amazon bookshelf. So what we're gonna do to get the results that we want is we're gonna shoot this 300 Win Mag, soft grain or soft tip, 180 grain power choke from Federal. I have my 300 Win Mag from Gara. It's my elk hunting rifle. It's got a lot of bedazzlement on it from Buffalo Leather, and it's a great rifle. It's got a little heart muzzle brake on it, and I'm going to get my hearing protection on. Snugly. Very snugly. If this doesn't work, we're just going home. Oh. Let's go check things out. Oh. Looks like we got penetrated. Now, my question is how much of this was just the sheer force punching the books through, and how much of this was the actual bullet penetrating. I mean, there's obviously a lot of scratch and tear up, crap, but I just don't feel confident in saying that that's what did it. I think we're gonna have to hit one more time. And I think the way we're gonna do it is we're gonna turn it sideways and come from wood out through the other wood and just hit the top over here and see if that doesn't give us more of what we're looking for. All right, so just to show you what we did not find the 300 Win Mag bullet. What I think we're gonna do is, just because the bookshelf is falling apart, and it might be nice to see what happens if you hit wood first. in case, you know, it is your neighbor shooting through the wall accidentally, hitting your bookshelf, coming into your house. So we've stacked these books kind of long ways that way and then flat ways. So they're hitting covers, they're hitting pages, and or the bullets hitting the covers and the pages. And we're going to see once and for all if it's going to punch through or not. I'm feeling like it's going to, but just for the interest of making sure, making doubly sure, let's find out. Alrighty, so let's get one more round, 300 Win Mag. Let's see if it stops. Alright, let's go see what we got. So, we got a nice clean entrance right here. Right up, okay. And holy crap. Alright, come over here. No bullet came out the backside. So, in conclusion, I'm going to search through here and maybe include a photo of the bullet if we can find which book it got itself lodged in. In conclusion, especially if you have like a nice bookshelf, something made of real wood, lining the walls of your house, and you've got nice thick history books or whatever, you know, romance novels you like to read, it's pretty darn bulletproof. I wouldn't bet your life on it, but it's nice to have. It's nice that if you're going to have a gun room, maybe also make it the book room. If you're going to share a wall with your neighbor and he's a little bit fast and loose with gun safety, maybe you toss this up. You know, it's kind of a, it doesn't look like you're bulletproof in your house, but maybe you are. Or at least maybe you're making yourself a little bit less likely to catch a stray bullet. And on top of that, you know, it makes it look like you read, which you need.
Yeah.
So we kind of found where the bullet ended up. It lodged itself in this book here towards the end of the pass-through. It didn't even really lodge in there, just kind of smashed up against it and then got lost in the gravel. But we basically had a bunch of books stacked sideways like this. And then a couple going in horizontally like that. And what it seems to have done is it went through all those and slowed down and morphed up so much that when it finally got to here, just smashed that flat and slid out into the mess. So, conclusion is books are bulletproof, I guess. I don't know.